Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SpeedForce Racing, the Premier Division. Yes, we're on a Thursday tonight, and it's getting more interesting, because if you've noticed in the title, we're at round 1. And that's going to get a little bit more interesting in later on, once I explain that, once I remember how to speak. But I'm bringing in a very special guest tonight. Tonight, I've brought in a GP2 driver, Icebolt, who was asleep for 15 hours and missed a race last night.
Oh yeah, that was awful, wasn't it? I can't believe I missed this race. Was you the best race in the calendar? Completely missed it. Feels bad.
I mean, yeah, it sucks when you miss a race.
Yeah, I mean, I had like my alarms going off, like 6 different alarms on my phone, carried on going off for like 4 hours straight. That was awful. My parents were really angry with me. Jesus.
Well, you're here now. You got into one session tonight.
Yeah, I guess so.
So yes, let's quickly go through the new things with Premier. So Premier, we were having a few issues with the Premier division. It didn't really set up as smoothly as GP2 did. So I know it's midway through the season, but we have decided since then to reboot Premier. So we've gone and done a marvel. We've rebooted, as I forget how to speak. We've gone and rebooted all of this. So Premier is started from round 1. It'll be a shortened calendar from now until Abu Dhabi, so that's another 11 weeks. So they only have 11 weeks of racing versus the 21 that GP2 have, and that's down to them. They're having a shortened calendar as we couldn't get it to start and work properly, but now it's a shortened calendar. It should be fun. So everyone's starting from 0. Few new drivers are in. It's really interesting to see how this will all go. And I'm pleased to have you in here with me. Didn't have to tie you up this time.
Oh yeah, we've got a dry qualifying as well, which is always nice to see.
Oh, I'm not even in yet. Spoilers.
Oh.
Well, yes.
Wait, so you're restarting like all the point system in this league, or what's going on?
Yes, the points are all back down to 0. So as you can see, we only have 17 drivers in tonight. There's a few drivers missing, which is unfortunate. Fredo and I don't even want to attempt that name. It's a gentleman we met on stream. But yes, the drivers we have so in the Premier Division, we have Peter Solheim and VSR Francis, F1 Senna and Dobby. I'm going to have so fun saying that name. CSR Ollie and Orchard David. Linnell, who isn't actually in this, he is just the admin hosting us. And Carlos GV. Nikos and Mark NUFC. T. Jonas and CSR Hamilton. Stebber and Glocky. So we've got Glock and Hamilton. This is going to get even more fun along the season. Stam, Sayuza, and Mixidius. We should have AJ, who normally joins me on commentary, but he is, for some reason, indisposed tonight. I will be having words with my dear Mr. Bentley later on. Why are you not here? So yes. But yes, so you said in the chat to the GP2 drivers that you did a load of practice, so you have some idea of this track then.
I did a lot of practice, yes.
Just take us through what you need to do to be fast around Silverstone.
You just lagged out, I couldn't hear what you said.
Oh, sorry. Just take us through what you need to be fast around Silverstone.
You just need to be flowing through each corners, like no jagged movements with your pad or your steering wheel. It's like, just like soft movements, especially through the old start finish straight, the right hand corner. Your setup needs to be perfect, so you're flat out around there. Don't lose as much time, especially not going too wide in some of the corners, compromising the exit speed. So most of the track is flat out anyway, so it's just it's all about exits. So if you mess up an exit, then you're going to lose a lot of time to the driver behind you, and slipstream as well.
It is brilliant, and this track, if you didn't watch GP2, produced some amazing racing last night. Would have been more amazing with having another Mercedes there, but they didn't manage to wake him up. That joke is going to carry on for the rest as Valakos leaves. He was spectating, so I'm not sure what was happening there. Hopefully he can get back in. I don't have the team list, unfortunately, so I can't go through the teams right now. I'll have that for you next week. But I think, you know what, there's no better place to open the season than Silverstone, if you ask me.
Yeah, 100%. Best track.
I mean, you're going to have me sitting here going, I've marshalled at that corner, I've marshalled at that corner in about 10 minutes, so that's going to get even more fun. Yeah, I have marshalled Silverstone.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, many different cars. Yeah, I had 3 incidents in under 5 minutes in qualifying for the Ginetta Seniors race.
Oh, okay.
Terrifying.
Yeah, that's great.
And then we had
kind of fun,
yeah, it is fun, but it's tiring as well. And you're out in the sun, you got no protection. It's really, it really is hot.
Get, like an umbrella or anything. You don't get a complimentary umbrella or no.
Not allowed on that. I mean, we had when we were marching, we were just watching Steber come through the final couple of sectors. Now he's got Peter Solheim ahead of him, the only McLaren on track tonight. But the only protection we had was the was when it started raining. And oh, I'll tell you what, I'll go through it later on. But Steber opens up with a 1:26.8, as I can't read numbers. He is the first driver on that. I think Dobby's coming around next. Oh, sorry, go on.
We saw Francis and someone just had a bit of contact there.
Oh, have they?
I don't know who it was. I just thought like his hand being thrown up in frustration or whatever it was. I don't know who it was. Well,
there's no call for a grid penalty as of yet. Senna is on track as well. See, we got so many driver names in there. So Optic has retired. Mark NUFC. Stam has retired early, the Haas driver. So this is going to get interesting later on. Oh, yeah, I've just seen a load of carbon fibre at the edge of the pit lane. So maybe it was a miscommunication of someone coming into the pits.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out to work this good menu. So.
Oh yeah, it takes some getting used to, mate. I tell you what, like, look back at some 2016. I'll send you some 2016 videos later. That was terrible. They didn't have any of his tower stuff.
What, really? So how did you keep track of anything?
We prayed.
Yeah. Wow, that's good.
No, it's here we are on board with Nikos in the Ferrari now. But yeah, as I was marshalling Beckett Centre, which we just passed now. And it was cloud bank towards the wing of the circuit, cloud bank towards the back of the circuit, and it was like yellow sky. I thought it's either going to hammer it down with rain or the apocalypse is going to start, one of the two. Unfortunately, it started raining, so I'm sat there, and we go into the little observation hut, and it is absolutely chucking it down. It's terrifying when it rains there, because you're out there, you're thinking, God, if someone crashes, I've got to go out in it.
Someone's going. Oh, he's just waiting for another car. No, definitely. I'm very confused on what. Is his name Mark? The guy is in P1?
Yeah, Mark NUFC. He's a football fan.
He just stopped on the track. I don't know what he's doing.
He may have been waiting for someone.
No one's behind him.
I don't know. The mind of a Premier driver is something I have not yet cracked.
Yeah.
If he's something, make cooler. That's what I say. Board with Hamilton.
On the hards, which is an interesting strategy right there.
It is, and with so many people not doing laps yet. Obviously, we know Lee won't be doing laps, and Stam is not doing a lap. And Valakos, who I think is rejoined but is not going to be able to qualify, he'll just be in a random car for tonight.
Okay.
With that hard sets, you see, they've done such low laps. I think they must be planning on going out on a quicker tyres later on.
It's the one stop, isn't it?
It is a one stop. It's a clear one stop here. Boo, 2 stops.
I don't see any need for the hards then.
Well,
to the mediums, or the mediums to the hard.
It is, but first lap damage. They'll go straight to the end. Yeah.
I don't know why you qualify.
I think it's a sighting lap thing. You know, as a CSR Hamilton goes 5th place on his laps, stable lap for him.
On the mediums as well. I don't know what the other guys set on their times. I don't know what tyres they were. Oh, I can see. I've just figured out how you turn the tyres on. This is crazy.
The mind of a GP2 driver that I let into the commentary box.
Don't bully me. Don't bully me, please. Oh my God.
Here's Ollie, CSR Holly. So we've got a few CSR drivers in here, friends of Hamilton. Now, I have to address the elephant in the room. Hamilton did get involved in a little kerfuffle in AOR, which has ended in a big black stamp next to his name. But that doesn't affect his seat in SpeedForce. And to be fair, if anybody driver bashes him, I won't be happy, because the fact is, Hamilton's a good guy. He's never made mistakes before. Well, he's made mistakes before, but he's never done that before in this league. So it's best to explain that off stream for her. But the fact is, it happened. Get over it. We're okay with him here, and we're staying with him here. He's been here for a while with us. I think he's been here almost as long as I have. God, I sound old. I've been here since season 1, midpoint of season 1.
Was that like 2017 then?
Yeah, first part of 2017. First era of the 2017 game.
Is he racing or is he a commentator?
Hamilton. I was racing before.
Oh, really?
So I'm fully bred retiree. Come from the league. Retired on my birthday this year. And then went back into the commentary box. Long time since I've done commentary, but yeah.
You do the classics though, don't you?
Yes, I do race the classics, and no, can't really yet. I haven't done the video yet, but there's things in the classics right now. I love the classics; it's so fun.
I have such a problem. I think I just stopped doing the classics when it got to Baku, because it was just impossible to drive that car. I just couldn't do it, and I just span out like so many times. I just gave up.
Yeah.
Like, no, I can't do this.
The thing with the classics, well, with the advantage of being retired, if there is such a thing, is that the only car I drive is the classic cars. So you guys are all coming from driving the modern cars with all the gubbins and downforce and all the ERS and DRS, etc. Me, I'm permanently fixed in the classics section. So I'm naturally built for those cars.
When I saw you like at the very, very top in like P2 or P3, I was like, is this man alright? Is he cheating? I was like, how are you up there if you don't race? Crazy. Glocky. He's gone flying.
Glocky's gone off, has he? Let's have a look.
Yeah, he's just lost. I don't know where he is in track.
He is he's at the pit lane. He's at turn 1. No, he's at the old pit lane. So that is Stowe. He took too much curb at Stowe. The old turn 1. Oh God, you're probably not old enough to remember the old turn 1.
Yeah, those tyres are not very happy anymore.
No, they're not. Definitely not what we want to see.
He did well to keep out the barriers, to be fair. He was going quite quick. He was going very quickly.
That's what you want to do, even on qualifying. You want to try and stay out of the barriers as best you can. But in all of the madness, what I've been talking randomly about my racing past, is that Dobby has gone up to P2. So the other Toro Rosso having a bit more favoured luck round here in Silverstone in qualifying than the GB2 team did.
Isn't Honey Badger in this league or whatever? I saw him in Austria.
Honey Badger, unfortunately, due to the day change, is unable to race with us now, which is a shame. We will miss Honey Badger, but he's still here for classics, and hopefully he'll pop around for some other events if we manage to get some one-off events in towards the end of the season.
It was very, very quick and dominant in Austria or wherever it was. I don't remember. I saw him in one of your streams the other day. I don't know, I just like rewatching the streams. I don't know why, I just do.
To be fair, mate, I'll watch them back and I'm talking on them.
Yeah.
Yes, it is interesting. And see, look at that, Carlos GB getting out of the way of F1 Senna showing off as best he can, the Greek driver. Look at that, perfect through the old turn 1, heading towards Max and Beckett's now. These corners, some of the most famous corners in Formula 1, alongside Radion and Eau Rouge. Oh, he's got it all right there for Senna, the Force India driver, getting it all lined up, almost skimming the curb, but getting it lined up onto the hanger straight.
Yeah, great exit right there. He will propel him all the way down to the last sector now.
Shifted down a little bit early though, didn't come off the gas.
Yeah.
Gearbox will not thank him for that one. He has got a Sauber ahead of him that looks to be David, I want to say.
You can guess. Let's just say it's David.
There we go, P8 for the Greek driver.
He's gonna have a really good, if it stays as it is, he's gonna have a really good strategic advantage over a lot of drivers, especially T. Jonas. Yeah, we all know about him.
Yes, T. Jonas is the championship leader in GP2. Come over here to reserve for someone else tonight. I believe it's yeah, I know who's in the other McLaren. The other McLaren is AJ to the P, who normally joins me on commentary. He has decided to. I think he's at work tonight. Mr. Bentley has been called in by Bentley to work, so he's unable to. Yeah, he works for Bentley.
What does he do? Is he like an engineer or something?
Marketing division.
Ah, okay, the complete other side.
I'll tell you what, though, I have said to him repeatedly, if he does go to the Blanche Pan with the team, and I'm marshalling that, he better buy me a coffee. Oh, look at Ollie.
Yeah, I thought so.
CSR Ollie getting in a good P3 lap there. Where is Peter Solheim? Peter Solheim back into pit lane. With this track, when you get it wrong, it punishes you pretty violently.
Yes. It's just because you're going so quickly, you're going to slide for a long time, and your tires will be destroyed.
You definitely will.
It's just like this nature. But if you get on the gas too early while you're still turning with no traction control, you are done. You're done. You're gonna go do some donuts over in a different county.
Yes, this track straddling the border between Northamptonshire and Berkshire, and that's absolutely brilliant. And my dad only lives 40 minutes away from this track, so that's why I'm able to marshal so well. But look,
I live very close to this track.
Ah, it's brilliant. Yeah. But if you could just do me a favour, mate, and change the gap to leader, and I just want to hear your reaction.
Oh, let me try and figure this out.
Square, then down to gap, and leader.
Square, then down to gap. Alright, leader. Oh, that's very close.
It's a little bit close between the top four.
Just a tad bit closer. God, it's very competitive in here, isn't it?
It is very competitive. Obviously, this is the new Premier Division, so hopefully Season 3's shortened Premier Division now, only 11 rounds, and it will be as fun as it can be. That'll be brilliant because it's got some of the best circuits now coming onto it, and then you got Mexico. But you know, spoilers. But yes, 3 minutes has to go, and Mark NUFC is still on top right now as we look at Carlos GP. What were you saying there, sir?
I was saying T. Jonas and Senna are very close together as well.
Yeah, they are. Ooh! Salbers almost collide on the hangar straight. I don't know what happened there, but I just saw a flash of the nose as you see one Salber pulls into pit lane. Sector 1, that's no one on a lap. I think that's just someone struggling. Both Salber guys now pulling into pit lane, ready to get ready for the final stages of qualifying. Glock, look at Glock. He's gone from P3, sorry, to P13. That's how good the times have improved here.
Yeah, especially when there's more rubber on the ground, on the track. The track consistently gets quicker. I don't know if Glock's on a lap. I know it's not.
No, he's about to start one now. I'm gonna find it so fun when Glock and Hamilton come together. Yeah. Remnants of 2008 coming back. Oh, I'm gonna have so fun. Where's Sayuza? Let's have a look at him. He's already on a lap. Getting all tightened up and round onto the straight, heading down to Brooklands. To the Wellington straight, heading into the Brooklands complex, passing Steber in the Williams. Can we just have a moment to give a good clap to Robert Kubica for getting into Formula 1 again?
I don't even know who that is.
Oh my God! I've been paired with a 10-year-old. Robert Kubica was a brilliant driver. He had natural talent, and he won. He's the only Polish driver to win a race in Formula 1.
I mean, I only got into F1 like halfway through 2017.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So, the thing with Robert, right? He was the big thing for a while. 2010 he signed for Renault, but then apparently in 2012 he was signed for Ferrari. He was going there. At the start of 2011, he got in a rally crash that partially severed his right arm.
Oh jeez.
So he has had 8 years of no Formula 1, not able to race at all. He's had it recuperated, and he is in Williams as Sayuza goes P1 by a margin and a half there.
Blocky also abandoned his lap. I think he lost it going through Beckett's and went over the apex too much and invalidated his lap, so he's done for qualifying for now.
Senna and T. Jonas kissing pretty violently there as they get all confused. One on an outlap, one not on an outlap there. And that may go to the stewards there about impeding a lap. I'm not sure what happened there at all.
Who was on the lap?
It was Senna. Jonas wasn't, but I don't know. It looked like a drag race for a bit, and I was going to mention it, but then that happened. Where's Pedder? He's just coming through the Stowe section now. The old turn one. No, sorry, old turn one at Kopsch. I'm going to put my teeth in and start talking like Farmer for a bit.
So Ollie's either starting a lap or he's just finished one.
Tell you what, it's 24 seconds until the end of the lap. Qualifying is getting to the end. Look at Francis. Francis is just about to start a lap. There's a last chance saloon for the Red Bull driver as he gets it all lined up, ready to go around. This is going to be a Fernando Alonso-esque move at Silverstone. I tell you what, I don't know if I've mentioned it before on stream. I was there when Fernando got P1 in qualifying 1, and Orchard David can only do 9th. He's out of qualifying. So is Glock, and so is Lee. Well, Lee was never in it. Peter Solheim down in 14th is not able to improve either.
Francis is going to get a tow from T. Jonas going down the DRS straight. That will help him help a lot of being I can't actually talk anymore. I don't know why.
Oh God, we definitely work well together, don't we? Because neither of us can talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, Francis. Ollie retiring from P5. Thinks he's done enough.
If the dirt doesn't affect him too badly, Francis will be able to improve a lot. Oh, T. John is getting. Oh!
Whoa!
Whoa!
I've got to look at my replay camera for this. What happened there?
Some drifting.
Big move. Mark NUFC steals it back at the last stage of qualifying by the smallest of margins right now. He's only done 1 lap, but what can Francis do? A new driver to the league. We'll see what he can do. The other Red Bull, can he match his teammate? Possibly beat him. We're unsure right now. No one knows what's going to happen as he comes around for the final couple of corners. Down into the club casino. No, the club section. Senna retires in P11. That'll be good for him. He's got free tyre choice. Pulling around, Francis bins it. He decides to stop the lap. Qualifying in P15th. What was that?
I don't know. Like CSR Hamilton has also got no wheel. I don't know what happened there. If he just crashed into the wall deliberately. I don't know what's happened. He just sat at the end of turn 1 with no wheel on the front of his right.
He may have lost it there. Turn 1's difficult round here. To be fair.
I don't know. He's hit something.
Wow.
Might have hit an invisible ghost or something. I don't know.
Let's see. Here's our grid, and by 3 thousandths of a second, Mark NUFC takes pole from Sayuza. Then Dobby in P3 and Nikos in P4. CSR Hamilton in P5 and Mixilius Drama in P6. CSR Ollie in P7 and Carlos GB in P8. Steber in P9 and Orchard David rounds out the top 10. Out of the top 10 and with free tyre choice is Senna, T. Jonas, Glocky, Peter Solheim, VSR Francis, Lee is not racing, and Stam, who will be racing.
There's a lot of Greek people in this league.
Yes, this is the Greek side of SFR, and it's brilliant.
Is there any Greek people in the GP too?
I don't think so.
Well, Greek people are overpowered then. They're just amazing at racing games. Take our hats off to them.
Just texting midway through. Okay, so heading on to the race now. 26 laps of insanity is about to erupt here in the Northamptonshire. Drivers are reminded not to talk on the lap. Gotta put this in now. Okay, so this will be interesting. This will be interesting. What happens in the race? Obviously, everyone's selecting their tyre choices. Be interesting who goes on an alternate strategy. So leading us away on the formation lap is Mark, as I'm gonna try and stop texting in a minute.
Wait, so if Lee isn't racing, why is his car there?
Lee is hosting the lobby right now.
So why is his car there?
Because he had to. You can't spectate. You can't have more than 2 spectators.
Oh, okay.
So Mark NUSC leads us away from Sayuza in P2 and Dobby in P3. A brilliant performance for the new boy. Nikos in P4 and CSR Hamilton in P5. Mixilius in P6 and Ollie in P7. Carlos in P8 and Stabber in P9. David is finishing in top 10. Now outside of the top 10 is, let's just have a look at the tyre strategies. Senna in P11 and T. Jonas in P12. Glocky in P13 and Solheim in P14. Francis in P15. Lee is driving round, but he will not be racing. Stam is in P17, and Valakos, who didn't do a qualifying lap, is in P18. So yes, this is going to get very interesting.
And we just said the same thing.
What was that?
We both just said the exact same thing at the exact same time.
Did we?
Yeah, we're like, this is really crazy.
This
can't
is.
talk, we both think the exact same thing.
I mean, that's the point of me plugging you into my head for some reason. So you know. Oh man, look at that sight down the hip straight. Look at that, and Hamilton's been disqualified. That's something that annoys me about the formation. Like, this just turn damage off, but at the same time, you know, you shouldn't be gashing into people anyway.
I mean, it's also kind of funny to see the car fly through the air in like a split second.
You clearly didn't see the glitches in the early Formula 1 games.
What happened with those?
There used to be glitches called the UFO glitch, it was called, and people used to just fly away into the air and then crash back down to Earth.
Oh, that seems like a lot of fun to be fair.
Codemasters, quality games since 2010.
Yeah. Get some Into the Barrier comments.
Oh, I'm about to get fired from Into the Barrier in a minute. Well, hopefully we don't see any car go into the barrier. Well, hey, bad jokes. Tonight, we're getting ready for the first round of the new Premier Division here in SpeedForce Racing. And this is going to get even more fun as we get ready. You're trying to find a good angle. Can't get any good angle whatsoever as we get ready to go round. We're going to have a side-on angle here. 5 red lights in Silverstone. And Steber and Senna both get drive-through penalty for jump starts. And then flying away off the line is Mark ahead of what's happened there? Something's happened already. Steber dropping down the order. I see both McLarens going right at each other. And into turn 3 now is Mark ahead of Sayuza, still ahead of him. And there isn't many moves in the background so far, but Mixilius and Ollie are going absolutely at it already. Sector 1 though! What was that?
Sauber was sideways.
That's Carlos GB. Steber is out. Steber is out. Sayuza challenging for the win right now, but he's not managing to right at this second. He's trying to get around Mark, but Mark is a defensive driver to the max.
Hamilton was just pushed off the track by a Sauber. I don't know if that was intentional or if he had literally got oversteer. I'm not positive on that.
It'll come.
Arthur Davis now past CSR Hamilton. Hamilton is
safety car deployed. The safety car has been deployed. So that everyone's slowing down for a big instance. Steber is out. Senna has already left the session. Hopefully there's a lag out. He can rejoin back in. At this point, Lee needs to remember to leave the session. But yes, that is so Steber is already out early on in the race, and let's just have a look, because I'm nosy. Let's have a look at the race director. I don't normally do this, but let's have a look. So Steber jump start invalidated time. Senna jump start. Senna and Senna a few collisions with Senna colliding with Steber, and Stam getting a warning for that. So that's just interesting to have a look at that. But any drivers pulling into the pit lane early on, it doesn't look like there is at this point in time. So the safety car has been deployed here on lap 1. Dobby is into the pit lane. Let's have a look at what the Toro Rosso team are planning. Maybe that's hard tyres at the end. Maybe. Same with Pedro Solheim. A few other drivers deciding to pull into the pit lane and see what what Toro. The name is on the halo, Jack. Come on. Lee now retires from there. So, yeah, hard tyres on the Toro Rosso.
It's a weird glitch. It showed me mediums.
Yeah, it shows you for a second, then it'll swap to it. Pedro Solheim pulls into his box. Again, hards on his car. Lee Nell's car. Sorry, no, not Lee car. Stam's car. And obviously, drivers will not be able to serve their drive-through penalties tonight. Stam getting a new front nose on that hat as well. So we'll have 3 laps behind the safety car, and look at this, all closing up. Remember, drivers are all in control of their cars, so they can accidentally ram into each other.
What was the reason for the safety car? I didn't really see anything too substantial.
Sometimes the safety car sometimes I hit the wrong button and they deploy the safety car. Don't blame me.
Blood and Sands collided with somebody yesterday. It was monstrumental, and that wasn't a safety car. Kind of surprising.
Yeah, I have problems. That crash should have had a safety car.
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy.
So we're on lap 2 here out of 26. And Mark NUSC leads us away, as he did from pole position, ahead of Sayuza in P2. Then there's Nikos in P3 and CSR Ollie in P4. Orchard David. Oh! What's happened here? A severe collision with T. Jones. Has he collided with him on purpose under the safety car? Because if he has, that is not on.
They may have just touched. I don't know, but he's lost a bit of his front.
Well, it said severe collision. I'm not sure.
Maybe a brake test that he wasn't expecting.
Either way, it's been a penalty.
Yeah.
But yes, so a few drivers choosing to pit. Dobby, Solheim, Stam, and Carlos all pitting. Carlos going for the medium tyres, so there's everyone. And yeah, Francis is just cut through everyone and going straight into pit lane. There may be the little word there of him coming into the pits to retire. I'm not sure we'll sit on board with the Red Bull. But yes, this is the longest and slowest pit lane in Formula 1, and God, it's so boring. We need control in this pit lane, I swear. But 5-second stop and go for ignoring yellow flags. Again, for France, and that's what happens when you accelerate into the pit lane and cut across drivers. I mean, come on.
I mean, he's putting on the hards. I mean,
yeah. I mean, now he's got what has he got? He had a 5-second stop and go penalty from the collision with T. Jonas, and now he's got a 5-second stop and go. Okay, there's a car in the water. There's a 5-second stop and go penalty for ignoring yellow flags. That's 10 seconds of penalties that he could have avoided, or at least he could have avoided at least 5. Senna has not returned. That might be down to lag. I hope it isn't. If it is, then Senna's days are numbered right now. Hopefully it isn't. But yes, this will be the third and final lap under the safety car tonight. Hopefully, Stam moves around.
Hopefully, yeah. It's gonna be crazy when these guys go racing again.
Yeah, it's like keeping them all bottled up. Like, you should have seen it on one of the off seasons I commentated on. After the off season, there was Mark getting very close to the back end of the safety car, screaming down the radio, "Move it! Get moving! Come on!" I believe where was it? 2016. This will be where Lewis would be sitting here on the radio, going, "Can you get the safety car to speed up, please?"
Well, in reality, the safety car is blitzing it. God knows what speeds.
Yeah, but remember, it is a safety car. It is a 2-ton vehicle versus these cars, which weigh less than me.
I always find it funny when they tell the safety car to hurry up. It's always really funny.
There's a speed limit. I have been on track as a safety car comes through for the World Endurance Championship. That was terrifying.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. We had to go out, and it was the first live run out I've ever done. Oof. Heart attack. There it is. The safety car is in this lap. We'll discuss the live run out and how I had a heart attack 3 times on that track in a moment. As Stam gets ready. And he's gone already. No, has he gone already? No, he hasn't. Okay. So he's teasing them. He's saying, come on, trying to catch them all out. His teammate at the end of the field, him at the top of the field. Here we go, back to go Green Racing. He's gone. He's absolutely ploughed it now. But he's made a mistake. Stand! No! Mark's lost it! Mark has lost it from the lead. DRS is now been labelled, and Mark is going to be ruining that himself. DRS disabled already. Sector 3, what is that? A few more collisions. Senna pulls into the pit lane. I'm not sure what's happening further down the field. A collision between Carlos and Mark and Francis.
Go down the inside of both of them. He's going to get Solheim as well.
He's pushing Solheim off the track. Oh, I tell you what. Heartbreak for Mark. Here comes Francis down the inside at Village. Into the loop. He's still on the inside, but there is still a Carlos GB on the inside, and he is trying to get for it. Who's got a better traction? The medium runner or the soft runner? It looks to be Francis himself.
Oh, side by side. He's going to have the inside for this next left-hand corner. Maybe be able to hold it around the outside. Oh, maybe pushes him a little bit.
About a lag.
I think he's now retired from the race. Mark, that is really unfortunate. He's done exactly what I told him not to do. When you turn in, you accelerate, and your car just spins. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, and to be fair, as harsh as it sounds, that was totally his fault. Glocky now coming up the inside of T. Jonas. T. Jonas having a good start to his Premier Division. No, T. Jonas is gone! He's lost it!
What is going on?
I need to stop talking about drivers. T. Jonas losing it in the same place I lost it a few seasons ago. Actually, no, Josh Fletcher lost it there a few seasons ago from the lead of the race. So, you know, it's not unheard of here. There's flags in every sector. We're back in Sector 1. That might just be down to Mark's car. Hopefully, that car is still in one piece and he didn't crash himself out. I don't think he would have.
I think Mark retired. I think he retired in the pit lane.
So Sayuza leads us away, and that, I'll tell you what, I'd feel horrible if I was Mark. But we're on board now with Stam. Stam trying to close up and pass Valakos. It's not happening so far. So far, it's not happening.
Francis is catching the hard runner of Stam. Oh, he's launched down the inside.
He's running a Danny Rickas move, but he has pushed him off the track a bit. Stam coming back at him, going try it, and then switching back for the Red Bull is Francis, and Francis is just I don't think he's very happy right now. Oh!
Touched again.
On board with Carlos now.
Looking at the Haas. Oh my God! Wait, what was that? On my screen, he's just clouted him off the track.
Bout of lag coming through the lobby right now. Senna's still in the pit lane. There was no contact. Carlos is lagging, so that might be a bit of an issue right now.
That was really scary. He just forgot to brake on my screen and straight into the side of Francis. But obviously that hasn't happened, which was also very good. They're going to carry on racing. Have a dirt, which will affect this. Oh, what? Okay. Can you see this? This is really difficult. Not much
has changed for me. If you can't see much on Carlos's screen, I'd switch off him, mate. If he's lagging too bad. Orchard David has been passed though by Hamilton. He's coming back at David. David is just there. Who is got the braver on the brakes? It looks to be David, the Irishman, still there. And Sayuza's still fastest over the line, and this is going to get very dicey for the rest of the season if this is showing off. The Ferraris getting close together. That's Nikos and Mixilius. Who's going to call what? Is there going to be team orders in the first race of the season? I should hope not.
I mean, they're in a decent position. I would hope they'd race, realistically. There's a gap. There's a 2-second gap behind. I'm not really worried about David as long as they keep it clean. We should be fine.
Looks to be they are racing.
Yes. Here, Nikos also has DRS, which makes it harder for Mixilius to pass him on the straight. Also, Ollie goes very wide. It gets a good exit out of that corner. I don't know what the corners are called.
I was Luffield back there, now heading up to the old turn 1 of Cops, just showing off, flexing my muscles. God, I'm a nerd. Mixilius running ride as he goes through there.
Oh, well, Orchard David is sideways.
Has he?
He's going to be on the racing line.
Okay. That, I can assume I know what happened there, and I think what's happened there is that someone, Hamilton has tried to make a move through the old turn 1 of Cops, which is where Spark Bobster and Blood and Sands came a cropper in GP2, but it has not cost any positions, and David's going to be back down there, but those tyres are going to start to struggle now.
Nikos is on the back of Ollie, very close. These the two Ferraris in the Renault.
Oh,
really
optimistic move from VSR Francis, trying to go. Oh, he's been tagged from behind, has he? Yeah, he has. He's been tagged behind by Carlos GB. What happened there was Francis tried to go down the inside at the left-right complex at the end of before the start-finish straight. That gap was always closing, Francis. You got to think race awareness. Think of when something's closing. I'm not digging any drivers. I'm just digging in general.
There's a lot of time left in the race, so I don't understand why you risk losing the front wing or getting damaged or whatever.
It is very difficult. Sector 1, though. We have a yellow. I'm not sure who that is, but Valakos is going to come under pressure from the Red Bull soon. On board with the Red Bull, kissing the Force India off the track. That really isn't acceptable. But Carlos GB is trying to prove a point by getting past him as well, trying to use all of the tow that Francis is creating for him, and he's not able to do it so far.
Also, the yellow flag was David. He's made another mistake when it's the gravel. He's now
he's overheated his tyres.
Yeah.
Carlos using the grass to slow him down, trying to get past Valakos. It is hard through here to follow a car, but some of these guys making it look easy. And Carlos showing how difficult it is, going very wide, having to brake again. He's under pressure. There's Stam.
They came very close together.
They did come a little bit close together. But there's a move. Nikos into P2. Sector 2, I believe that's Orchard David. Let's have a nose. Yes, it is. So he has overcooked his tyres, so just leave that as it is. Here comes Ollie, trying to go down the inside at turn 1. This DRS zone now is effective. Don't want to make a move, though, into the turn. There isn't really a turn. There's more of a straight line. But now he's trying to move into the Viddage loop, the first real braking zone of a lap. He's trying to go round the outside. The Renault passing the Ferrari. Who is going to come on top? Is it going to be Nikos? Is it going to be Ollie? Or is it going to be Mixilius in the background? And then there's Hamilton. It's getting interesting.
Silly says the better exit. You might be able to have both of them.
I don't think both of them straight is not long enough. Sector 1 still yellow flags.
Mattilius up into P3 past his teammate. And I've got Ollie in front of him. We're hoping to get past him as quickly as possible to close in on Sayuza, who's just running away with this race.
Sayuza being unchallenged since Mark's mistake.
Side by side.
Oh, Ollie snatching it back at Cops. Fantastic racing here between Renault and Ferrari. Two teams that wanted Robert Kubica but didn't get it. Gonna keep gushing about him. Still all going round. All okay at this point in time. Ollie makes a mistake though. France is getting a time penalty. Here we go. DRS open on Ferrari. Ferrari coming down trying to choose a side outside to pass Ollie. Then there's Hamilton in the background trying to go around the outside of the other Ferrari. What's going to happen? Is it Hamilton or is it Mixilius? One of the two makes a move. No, neither of them get through. Mixilius pulls into the pit lane. Hamilton though. Oh, he's clouted the inside of the Ferrari. He didn't do a Vettel pirouette there.
Very lucky. Yeah.
It was close.
Enough. No, the Ferrari were just, the second they touched, they just do donuts. Don't know why, but.
Yeah. On board with Stam now, as Stam closes up to the back end of Valakos, who I have now some information on that driver. He is running a standard setup, the basic setup 3. He doesn't have any a setup for this event, I don't think. Oh wait, Parc Ferme was on. He didn't qualify, so he didn't have a setup. So he's struggling a bit, but still, P8 on this setup is brilliant.
It's a very strong drive, but he's just sitting duck to Stam now. He's going to go down the inside.
Stam passing Valakos, and so's Carlos GB. Carlos GB trying to go around the outside into left field through Brooklands. He's not managing it. He's still there. That's the closest I've ever seen a car through there. He's made a move in left field as I'm shouting again. But no, on the off the corner, it's Valakos. The move is not done. Into the old turn 1 at Cops. Is it going to stick? Oh, getting close. They kiss. A French kiss? No, an Indian one. But they get sent off, but it's all okay. The Swiss car seems to be in a good position.
It's very mature from both of them not to, like, you know, both fight as if it's for the win.
Oh, Carlos!
He's getting a lot of oversteer through there.
Right, back up with the Ferrari of Nikos. No, they've called him in. Ferrari strategy, is that going to be good or bad? Lap 10 here out of 26. There'll be a 17-lap stint on the medium tyres. Doable, but we're not sure what's going to happen next. And Mr. Bentley turns up in the chat. Hello, where have you been? Here's Peter Solheim, Mr. Bentley's teammate here, trying to close up to Carlos GB, who's been making a few mistakes through Maggots and Beckett's now, and it seems that it's all going to get very interesting.
Jonas also goes into the pits for some mediums. Might be on to the softs, perhaps.
Oh, Peter Solheim losing the rear end, and that's T. Jonas saying, enough's enough. I'm done with the Premier Division. And he says, take me back to GP2. I'm quick there.
Yeah.
T. Jonas is quick everywhere. I'm not going to be mean much.
Jonas is a very good driver.
T. Jonas is lovely.
Yes.
So as I realise that I'm completely tangled in wires right now and I'm trying to untangle myself, I have succeeded in that. Sector 1, that will be T. Jonas's car. Hamilton is now challenging Ollie, trying to get past him. And look at the front, left, of Hamilton's tyre. It's starting to struggle. The blisters are starting to show on the Mercedes. But who's got a better exit? It's Hamilton. DRS open on the Mercedes. The mighty Merc is coming round the outside of the relentless Renault, and he gets through.
A very good move from Hamilton.
I'd like to say very good analogy for me as well. But, you know, streaming into the pit lane, is that slow enough? Oh, just slow enough. The 39-mile-an-hour speed limit showing up. There's Dobby. We haven't spoken to him for a while. Is he free? I'm not sure. It might be for Dovizioso in MotoGP that his name's Dobby. I want to know now, or he may just be a house elf driving the car. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Is that Glock behind Hamilton? And I retire now from commentary because I've had me fun. But yes, all lined up, and we'll see what is going to happen later on the race. We're through the first round of the stoppers, and still Sayuza and Hamilton, both Mercedes, not pitting. Hopefully these two have got a strategy picked up, because the race leader right now, Sayuza, is ahead. The 98 car is looking to pit early, so maybe they'll call him in now and say, okay, come in, cover off your enemies. But let's go have a look at one of the enemies, and that is Ollie.
I mean, Nikos got a very good exit out of that corner. Ollie's not as much. Maybe have something to do with his tyres being quite cold. He's coming, getting new ones when Nikos has had a whole lap to warm them up. I don't know if was Nikos in front of Ollie when they went into the pits? I'm not
no, Sayuza does come into pit lane. No, I don't think so. So the Mercedes team have pulled him in. That will elevate CSR Hamilton to the lead, though his name is not CSR anymore, apparently. So Hamilton is in the lead once more, getting ready to complete his 12th lap and go on to the 13th. He should be pitting this lap, judging by if Mercedes are keeping the same practice. Look at that, Dobby and Glock back into podium positions. Dobby, after pitting under the safety car onto the ice blue hard tyres, that is a good strategy if he can keep it going, isn't it?
I've never used the hard tyres in this game. I don't know if they like overheat or if they, degrade quickly. I'm not too sure. Are they like a solid tyre to be on? Or,
the hard tyres, the thing with the hard tyres, they take a while to warm up. That was the main issue with them.
Well, they'll be warm up now, so.
Oh yeah. They degrade slowly, and the thing with them being under the safety car, he's been able to warm them up with the safety car, so it's all good.
The thing with Sayuza is he's got to get past all of these guys on the hards.
Yeah, I mean, Sayuza could that, or he will be also thinking, okay, these guys may have to pit again. It may happen.
Well, some of them may do some tyre. My head's gone blank.
Performance, yes.
Yeah, that's it, and the tyres will be in good shape for when Sayuza comes around.
Could be interesting.
Otherwise, like, if he spends too long fighting in, like, Peter Solheim career, he's not going to be able to catch Dobby.
It is that way. So is anyone who can catch the House Elf? No. But Hamilton pulls into pit and that elevates Glock into the lead. So for once, Glock is in the lead of a Grand Prix ahead of Hamilton. 2008, eat your heart out. But yes, this will be... Remember, Hamilton will have the freshest tyres on the track, and it will be storming.
Glocky also needs to pit, so it's going to be fun it's going to be interesting where he comes out.
Glocky has been on those tyres since lap 2, hasn't he? Done over for a long time. And he's moved over. Yeah. That's the call for the team. He's moved over, letting Dobby through. Dobby leads a race in his first time out in SFR. And that is fun there. The House Elf or the MotoGP rider. Little weave there to his teammate saying thank you. There's the message from VG Johnson in the chat, folks. Take me back to GP2.
He wins there every time, it's okay.
Well, not every time, he's only won a few times.
In France, he was very, very good. I literally had no time to defend from him, he just flung down the inside. I was like, seen a bit then.
Francis from the back of the grid is now closing up to Glocky. Glocky, by the looks of it, is coming into the pit lane this lap. So, Toro Rosso ready to serve one of their drivers. No, he's not coming in yet. He's just let his teammate through. But, big lock up there. That's not going to help the tyres at all. I think, you know what, those tyres are well past their sell-by date.
Yeah, I think the longer he holds VSL Francis up, the better a chance Dobby has of taking this one home.
Could be interesting to see. But we know Francis is good on the brakes. He's going to go for it into the loop, turn 3. Who is there? I think. A little bit of a kiss, a big kiss there from the Italian team to the Austrian team, and it seems that the Red Bull is not able to get through. But he's going to get through now. This will be no contest. Better traction on this Red Bull as he passes down the inside into P2. Now, it says he's on soft tyres on the car, but he's on hard tyres up on our tower, it will tell us. But look at that Glocky trying to come back up the inside of left field. Do not try it there. You'll spin it round and you'll get a lot of swearing, angsty, angry teenage Red Bull drivers punching you. Shoving you.
And Sayuza is also catching Peter Solheim by a mighty rate.
He's got to get past Ollie first. Got to get past the Ferraris too. This is all going to get very interesting. But back up with Glocky. Glocky's tyres are running out. And Francis is thinking, thank you very much. I think I'm going to disappear now.
He has to pit now, surely.
Yeah, I think the Toro Rosso team will be on the radio saying pit now, pit now.
Yeah, you can't contest Francis any longer. I mean, now it's now thinking about yourself. Your teammate's got to go ahead.
Nah, he's not.
He stays out.
He is on the medium tyres, folks. Not sure what he's up to right now.
Doesn't have a lot of. Yeah, I can't talk. Like,
sorry, you'll get used to it.
Grip to defend or attack. Really, he's shifting quite quickly.
Sayuza trying to go down the inside at Stowe on Ollie, but it's not happened. Big bout of oversteer there as he catches the car in a good position. But I tell you what, Glocky is staying with Francis. He's not letting him get away so far, is he?
No, he actually has. He's caught up quite a bit. He might be able to get past him here on in the 16. Just to go to defend the position is Francis. Just he comes back again.
So the question is, I'm being told that Glocky will be pitting on lap 16, so next lap he's planning on doing an 11-lap stint on the soft tyres, but he's going to drop well far back from these guys, and suddenly I'm talking like a youth.
Where do you get this information from?
Hearing on the chat.
Oh,
so yeah, I'm actually holding on to the Toro Rosso team right now. I'm holding on to the Halo, and I'm whispering to him, pit now, pit now. But Glocky getting a time penalty for going in too deep, and the man with the silver helmet is starting to struggle on those tyres, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, Dobby really needs to get a move on. I mean, Francis has a good chance of counter it. I mean, the gap is staying the same even with having to defend from Glocky, so Dobby needs to get a move on if he wants to win this race.
He does, and Sayuza once again. Hamilton needs to make a move on Ollie, and you were right. Sorry, I thought it was Sayuza in the car, but it is Ollie. It is Hamilton. Glocky pulls into pit lane early. Hamilton now down the inside at Stowe, passing Ollie into the lead. Into where are we? P9, and now Solheim is now defending from Sayuza. You were right on this, and it seems that Peter Solheim down the inside aggressively. Danny Rickstall down the inside at the loop and passing up into P4 for the Mercedes driver who sat on P2 on the grid.
Sam was a lot closer to VSR Francis the last time I looked at it. I don't know if he's made a mistake somewhere. I don't know what's happened there, but he's now dropped back a few seconds. And he's closer to Sayuza, which is helping in Sayuza's race.
Now, can Hamilton pull away from Ollie right now? Valakos a 3-second time penalty added on to his time at the end of Grand Prix. See, it doesn't seem like Ollie's got the pace on these medium tyres to be able to catch up. And it seems that Peter Solheim, once again, doesn't have the pace himself. I don't think he'll ever have the pace to catch up with 4-lap old medium tyres versus 14-lap old hard tyres.
Yeah, it's a good race from Peter Solheim. He's held it very, very well. He's got the Ferrari behind him, which he needs to not make any monumental. I can't talk. I can't say that word either. He needs to not make any big mistakes. And he should be alright.
Dolby.
Right? Just don't at me, anybody.
Dolby is now under threat from Francis officially as he passes through the Ghost of Senna. The Ghost of Senna's passed as he passes through him. Oh god, Christmas jokes. Oh, big snap as Francis catches the car running on the curb, almost crashing out, and he's getting very, very close to Dolby's rear end. And he's going to be thinking, I'm not going to give you a sock. I'm not even going to give you a ride either. So he's going to try and get through.
Oh, is that joke, the Harry Potter? Okay.
I'm thinking of so many jokes right now. I'm so torn whether it's for Dovizioso in MotoGP. He's just a Dovizioso fan who they all just call Dobby because who wants to say Dovizioso all the time during the race, or if it's genuinely for the house elf, which would be brilliant.
That would be amazing. Yes.
I mean, we're going to have Fredo in here as well, so we can make frog jokes. But we got to be careful because he is French, so you got to be careful with the frog jokes.
Oh, okay.
I'm just dogging myself in it at this point.
Yeah, I just didn't know what to say. That was a bit awkward. He's getting closer though, Francis.
He is. He's lost a lot of time though.
It's just him pushing. He knows Sayuza is coming. He's just begging Stam hold him up. If Stam can hold him up, VSR probably could catch Dobby and win the race like that. But there is penalties, and I can't completely keep track of that. So.
This will be interesting. I don't think Dobby has any penalties. I don't even want to try and do his numbers on there at speed, but Dobby is defending well. So a second set, for instance, Dobby seems to be struggling out the final corner, which is pulling Francis along. But then on the last lap, Francis made a mistake into this corner, which cost him a lot of time throughout the lap. So he hasn't made it this lap, so it seems that he's able to close up to Dobby himself. But it's one thing to close up to a car, you've got to pass him as well. He'll have the DRS aid, but I don't know if he'll be able to do it this lap. He'll have to try. And remember, this is for the race lead, so it could get interesting what's going to happen.
Rocky's also the fastest man on track. His teammate, which will give him a bit of encouragement out front for Dobby. They're also locking out 1 and P10.
Yeah, they're bookending the top 10 right now, which would be a good haul of 26 points for the Toro Rosso team, but they want more. So I assume they're telling Glocky to, come on, you're on the fastest man on track, go! Sayuza is closing up to the back of Stam too.
This is not good for cinematic reasons. They're both going to catch each other at the same time. You're going to be able to look at the move.
Just judging it, it doesn't look like... Yeah, it doesn't look like we'll see a move from on Dobby yet. Might see a move on Sam quickly before we switch back up to Dobby.
Surely he's too far back. Surely he's way too far back.
He's way too far back. Here's Stam and Sayuza right there, trying to remember names here. Sayuza still defending. Sayuza going for a delivery type bomb. He's to get slowed down as Sam moves a little bit in the braking zone. There'll be an angry Sayuza now yelling at the Mercedes team. Bono, he moved in the braking zone. At least he's not being called, it's James. Please don't say it's James. The Mercedes trying to pass the Haas. Haas making a big mistake. This will be a move for it. There he is. Sayuza's trademark dive bomb. Getting it all turned up. Brilliant move there for P3. And this is where it gets interesting. Dobby going defensive.
The same thing at the same time again.
We know what we're doing. Psychic Link.
Glocky's just getting the penalties. He's there quite a few, I think.
Well, maybe the philosophy is if Glocky gets the penalties, there'll be none left for Dobby.
He just used them all.
Let's hope. But still, Francis is going to get frustrated. Christian Horner will be running down to the end of the pit lane going, for God's sake, France, let us through! But it's not happening so far. And I'll tell you what, Stam is staying with Sayuza so far. But he's a lot closer this lap. This could be the lap where Dobby loses the lead for Francis. What a tale this would be told for the man who started in P15, going into the Stowe, going for a dive bomb. He's gone for it. It seems that Dobby's not able to defend, and there he is. Francis into the lead. And Dobby's now going to think, right, I've got to close up and pass him now. Compose yourself, Dobby. You can do this. But also, Francis, you can do this. I'm very torn right now.
It's not making any big mistakes, not running too wide.
Yellow flags. Coming through the yellow flag zone now. Back to green, though. Not sure what the yellows were for at all. They won't be catching... they might be catching Senna's Ghost again. The Ghost of Senna's past.
Yeah, probably so. Although Dobby does get a good run out of the exit.
Orchard David, 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, and that's a bad one.
That's a big penalty.
Yeah, I think that must be Magnussen Beckett's getting it wrong. Another 10-second stop and go penalty. What are you doing?
He's just not moving.
Ah, he's got a broken front wing, that's why. So he's letting drivers through, sat off track with a broken front wing. So Orchard David having a monstrous start to the new Premier season.
No, he's going to have to come back next week and, be better, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's what he's going to be thinking about Germany. So about Germany now for him.
Dobby is now got the grip and he's got his eyes on Francis. 5 tenths separate him and Francis, but Francis is so quick on the straights. Look at that, he already gained a 10th on the straights.
His setup is just used for straight line speed. It's crazy.
Toro Rosso Honda Power. Honda Power versus Tag Heuer branded Renault Power. I don't know what's going to happen here. On commentary tonight is Ice Bolt. If you haven't met him, hello Ice. You meant to. He fell asleep and didn't do the race last week. Yesterday. No, I'm never going to forget about that. I'm thinking of new ways to introduce you for next week as well.
Oh, great! I can't even believe I slept for that long. It's crazy. I've never done that.
To be fair, mate, I used to have some great sleeps back when I could.
I've never been so tired.
on board now with Glocky.
Throwing the car. Sayus is just throwing the car at the track, just trying to catch him with 5 laps to go.
Oh, it is, yeah, 5 laps to go through all of this right now.
If Francis and Dobby start fighting again, it could be possible. I don't know, but maybe Sayusa stayed out on his tyres too long while they were dead. Now he's just giving himself too much of a job to do.
So Glocky now is trying to line up a move on Ollie. Is that Glock about to make a move on Renault? Yes, it is. He's having a try down the inside of Brooklands, and he's done it. Pretty simple move, and Dobby is starting to suffer far back. Still, I think, you know what? I think he's safe right now in P2.
Yeah, I think he is. I think that gap's a bit too big now. Although his left front is looking very angry.
Let's have a look now. Just a quick look. Ooh, that tyre is not enjoying itself at all, is it?
No. But
versus
Sayusa's look a lot better.
Yeah, versus Stam's one. Stam, obviously, well, don't look at Stam's one because it's a glitch tyre. But at the same time, it's too close to call right now. Anything could happen. And remember, there are still blowouts. We could see a blowout later on in the Grand Prix, which would be heartbreaking.
Yeah,
Orchard David has since retired and left from the session, showing, I think, frustration at the first race, struggling in this race. Hopefully he'll continue on for next week. If sit down and think, okay, right, this is what went wrong last time. Let's go on to oh, that's interesting. That's reminded me. Yes, Francis has got those penalties from the pit lane, hasn't he?
He has a tense. Wait, let me have a look. I'll have a quick look.
Yeah, have a nose for me, mate, because I think if that is true, we could still see Dobby on the top step, which would be a brilliant thing, and then the house elf would have to run away because someone would have given him a gift. Dobby is still in it. Francis is definitely now in trouble because he's got a 3-second penalty. That has essentially confirmed it that he will be dropping behind Dobby in the coming laps if Dobby can stay close to him. That is the funnest name I'm ever going to have saying in racing. And we have the Devil's Armpit in GP2, but I'm still going to enjoy saying Dobby more.
I think Dobby has 1 warning.
Brilliant run for Dobby.
Francis has a 3-second penalty.
He has that 3-second penalty confirmed. He has, I think he still has the pit lane penalty as well.
Yeah, he does.
Glocky under pressure. If he has a pit lane penalty, that will drop him way off the podium.
Yeah, it would actually, yeah, but Dobby's on his last warning.
Oh, Dobby.
One more track extending, and he is going to hit himself with a 3-second penalty.
Which will put him in the danger for Sayusa to take him on. On board though with Dobby now, as he's trying to close up. It seems that Francis's car is starting to give up. His hard tyres giving up. I mean, I think he's overcooked his hard tyres. I think Francis is going to lose the lead of the race.
Yeah, Dobby is looking a lot better pace-wise. Francis was so dominant for like 5-6 laps ago, and now he's just falling way back, right back into the hands of Dobby, where Dobby's just going to, hand him the sock and he's just going to leave and go win the race. So I kind of want Dobby to win just for that reason, just because his name is so good.
Handing him the sock.
just go drive quick.
In the pit crew, they handed him 2 more and just went, "Here you go, go!"
go win the race.
I'm trying to remember how Dobby speaks so I can do an accent at the end of the race. It might take a while.
Ollie's very close to Glocky though, the other Toro Rosso.
Yeah, just switched on to that actually. Having a break in the middle of the corners, he just came in with so much speed. Sayusa, the fastest man on track, is starting to cut it in. Too little, too late though, by the looks of it for Sayusa. AJ saying, "Please don't do my accent."
I think maybe he should have pitted a bit earlier, maybe had a bit better at the tyres, but he is still catching. There's a small chance he will be able to do this if they start fighting Dobby and VSL France. Francis needs to make a mistake where Dobby can just capitalise.
And the other Toro Rosso has just received a penalty.
Dobby nearly span around.
Oof. The hearts of the British public are on Dobby's shoulders now. They need a house elf win.
Oh, Francis Francis back end did not like that corner at all. You know, lost slower.
Ooh, so Francis, is he going to lose out? Dobby enjoying that so much. I think his tyres are starting to go. I think he's overcooked his tyres enough. He was battling so hard to try and stay up. I think those tyres are starting to go.
Yeah, the Sayuza is also full, and just with the DRS, they're just pulling each other along, away from Sayuza. But although Sayuza is a lot braver on the brakes as he needs to catch these guys, he's now right behind them. He's just throwing the car at the apex. This is mad. They have 2 laps to get into the lead on better tyres.
This could happen. This going right down to the wire right now. Will it be Dobby? Will it be Sayuza? Will it be Francis on the top set of the podium? Well, we don't think it'll be Francis. Who will it be, Dobby or Sayuza?
I think Sayuza has penalties. I'm not positive. I did see a few warnings.
On the back end camera now on the Toro Rosso. Has Honda Power got enough? He's closer nonetheless now. 2 tenths separating. Francis goes defensive into Brooklands. Cutting back round. Dobby back into the lead. Francis going down the inside. And he's fed him off the track. But he's wide at left field.
Sayuza is right there. Sayuza is right behind Dobby now. That's just brought him straight back into this.
This is absolutely monumental. Now into Stowe. This is where we saw the crash earlier in GP2 yesterday. Oh, Sayuza's thinking, God, I'm stuck. I can't do anything.
Nearly ploughed right into the back of Dobby there. Very, very, very well done to stop the car. Is VSL Francis going to get DRS off that lap car though?
He has not. We're going to go 3 wide for the lead by the looks of it. Here comes Sayuza down the inside. Is Dobby going to do it? Dobby's going to lose P2 if he's not careful. Contact, a little kiss. Mercedes goes wide, goes off a track, slips back in. Is it going to be a dive bomb for Sayuza? It looks like there might be. And there is. He's round.
He's surely got him now, yet.
Ah, Dobby. The hearts of the British public.
He could still have penalties. He still can win this. You've got to believe.
We're on the last lap of the Grand Prix now. Ollie passing Glocky into Stowe as I'm enjoying this way too much. A brilliant move there for Ollie. Oh no, Ollie's lost it. Made a collision with Glocky. Turned in a little bit too early. Now Ollie is back down and look at that Glocky. Brilliant sportsman like there, letting him through because I think Glock must have thought, oh, I've hit him. I'll let him through.
They use it on Francis down the inside. Basically giving him the corner. The Red Bull's going to come back round the outside. That's just what Max Verstappen did. And Raikkonen. Bit of contact.
Oh, a bit more contact.
Oh, the Red Bull is... They're just tapping. They're just tapping. Nothing major. Round the outside maybe for the Red Bull is what he's hoping to do.
Oh, big lag spike for me. They're still there. Yeah, still there. If either of these guys take it out, it will be a Dobby win. Dobby's thinking, come on, something happen.
I think Sayuza's got this now. Also, I've got the engine glitch on VSL Francis. Although Francis is closing in the slipstream. Maybe
this will go right down to the line. The closest finish in SFR history is about to happen. Nikos, a time penalty. Oh, Francis has lost it. Francis is gone. Dobby into P2. No, not yet, because Francis slices back through aggressively, coming round now. Sayuza wins on the road. Where's everyone? Dobby is in P2. Sayuza takes first blood in SFR Prem 2 here in Silverstone. Stam a brilliant P3. And Peter Solheim a brilliant P4. Francis tumbling down the order for that monumental mistake by overtaking a lot of people. The other Mercedes comes in P7 ahead of Nikos. And Ollie is in P8. Glock will be in P9. Glock will be in P10, sorry, and Glock aggressively tries to cut in. Valakos from the back of the grid in P11, not bad from him.
It's a very, very, very good race. Very entertaining.
Very entertaining race. And they're going to take the results off the screen is Sayuza sitting there thinking, yes, I've done it again. He won the first round of the previous series before we rebooted it, and now he's done it again here in Silverstone. And this is going to be brilliant to see the results at the end of the Grand Prix.
It's honestly mesmerizing how Sayuza was so aggressive but like so clean at the same time. Very, very, very good. Just throwing the car around the corners in an effort to catch them, and it paid off. So well done to him.
Yes, well done, Sayuza, indeed. And well done to Dobby and Stam for their first podiums in SFR. And look at that. Stam is just happy to be there at this point. And Dobby's thinking he had to work for it. Yeah, Dobby had to work for it. The little house out there. Didn't get his sock today. Stuck here for the next race.
Yeah, he'll do good next week. Hopefully he gets a win next week. He'll be very, very happy to see Dobby on the top step of the podium.
So here it is. Here are the results, and this is the current championship order without any external penalties. Sayuza in P1 ahead of Dobby in P2, Stam in P3 and Petasol in P4. Francis in P5 after those monumental penalties. We'll discuss them in a minute. And then Vexilius in P6. Hamilton is in P7 and Nikos is in P8. CSR Ollie is in P9 and Glocky rounds up the top 10 for Toro Rosso in 10th. Outside of the top 10 was Valakos, Carlos GB, and those were the last finishers. Senna didn't finish the race due to a lag out. Orchie David retired due to being unable to continue. T. Jonas decided that he wasn't going to continue on. He was only a reserve driver. Mark in UFC, well, after that spin, I would feel a bit embarrassed too. Hopefully it gets more relaxed later on. So, just quickly, right? I need to look back at it on stream, but with what happened with, as you look at my assists, with Francis, I don't really think that was. I think the stewards will probably look at Francis where he overtook everyone in to get to the pit lane quicker under safety car. I think that's a bit, naughty, isn't it? I
mean, if the game doesn't think it's illegal, then I don't see it as being an illegal move. Although I would have thought Codemasters would have thought of that.
They did. They gave him penalties, but I think it's just a little bit. Just need to give him a warning for that one as well. From I think the stewards need to look at him and just go, hey, you did that. Don't do it again. I know you got penalty, but don't do it again, please. Yeah. It's not a good look. But yes, this was the first round of the new Premier Division on SpeedForce Racing on the Thursday Premier Divisions, which will be brilliant. And we'll be seeing no interviews tonight. We'll be bringing that in next week. We're in Germany. So we're heading over to Hockenheim next week, which will be a brilliant race. I love Hockenheim, one of my favourite circuits in Formula One. Old circuit and new circuit. Nonetheless, it's a pretty nice track. But you'll have to wait another week for that. So next week, same time on Wednesday, will be GP2 taking us round and giving us first taste of the German sausage that is Hockenheim, and then we'll be coming over here with Prem, where hopefully we'll be able to bring you guys out of your cryo sleep to come and do commentary with me.
I will 100% come do this again. This was a lot of fun.
Definitely will be. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you everyone for commenting in the chat. It's been brilliant. So we'll leave you with a little thoughts of how fantastic were the drivers tonight. I mean, out of 10, nice. Out of 10 for the race.
I'll give it a good 9. There was a few incidents that could have been avoided, I think.
I'm going to go a bit lower and go for a bit of 7 or 8. Sort of match with GP2 is pretty much the same. There's a bit of part of the race where there wasn't much going on, but we saw a safety car in this race, so that's managed to up it up to a bit of an 8. Yeah.
I mean, I'm easily impressed.
Well, you're new. You haven't had what I've had to deal with. So yes, we will. Last week I was killed by some commentary, but yes, we will see everyone next week for Wednesday night's GP2 session, where we'll be able to wake Ice up myself to get in the car, so Toto Wolff doesn't drop him early.
You're never gonna let that one go, are you?
No.
Oh my God.
All right. I hope you enjoyed, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you next week for the first live stream around Germany. Goodbye, guys.